We're starting things off right here on Team Continental, and this will be a 4v4, as will be all the games in round 1 of the grand finals. As I was just explaining to the stream, all of the grand final games are split into 4 rounds, and there will be a total of 4. There will be a total of 4 rounds. Each round there will be a different format. Round 1 is 4v4, round 2 is 3v3, round 3 is 2v2, and round 4 is 1v1. So we get to see a really nice wide variety of stuff. And I know I've complained a little bit about this tournament in the fact that some of the games have been, or some of the series, some of the sets have been really samey. Obviously, in my opinion, the map settings have left a lot to be desired in this event, but the grand finals do look really promising, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Obviously, everybody can get excited for a TyRanT versus TyRanT matchup. In fact, the TyRanT War number 1 and number 2, which basically featured the same teams, drew huge crowds, and that's understandable because it is just, it's just that good. It's great. So I wouldn't want to miss this. Even if I wasn't too keen on the round robin stage, this is what it's all about. So let's introduce the players and see who we've got. So for the TyRanT Legends, right here on the northwest of the map, we've got Cab in the blue. He's playing as the Vikings. As usual, he's got the Viking pick, and well, is it surprising to us? Nah, Cab's always the Vikings, and he does the Vikings pretty damn well as well. To the south of him, in the teal, we've got ourselves Doubt, and Doubt is playing as the Mayans. And before we go any further, shout out to Elite Teutonic Knight, who just became a Wallow Warlord. Thank you very much for subscribing, man. Thank you for supporting the stream. It's much appreciated. So Doubt here in the teal, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He's been around for as long as Age of Empires can remember, and he is still going strong for the TyRanT Legends team. To the right of him, a newer legend, we've got the Viper, and he's playing in the yellow as the Persians. Probably could have called that one as well. In fact, the Doubt on the Mayans there, Viper on the Persians, and also in the yellow. It's like he is very familiar with the Persians and very familiar with the colour yellow, obviously, as well. So he is in the pocket position. And last but not least, for the TyRanT Legends, we've got ourselves in the green, Jordan 23, playing as the Mongols, and that is his usual civ choice as well, his usual pick. Jordan 23 is pretty much always the TyRanT Legends Mongol player. That's just how it is. So Badge over there trying to snipe Jordan 23's scout quickly. Looks like he's going to end up losing his own eagle here as he fights that scout from Viper. Good little bit of teamwork there from Viper and Jordan 23 as they group their scouts together to bring down that opposing eagle warrior from Badgeofro. Badgeofro now down a scout. It's not the end of the world because this map will be, on the flanks it's going to be a little bit about the Grush, and for the pockets it's going to be about taking the center quite quickly. But we'll talk about the map in a little bit. But first of all, we're going to introduce the second team, which is the TyRanT Warlords, and we've seen him in action already, losing his scout right there. Perhaps an omen of things to come, who knows. But we've got TyRanT backed, playing in the orange as the Mines on this right flank. In the pocket position, in the purple, we've got TyRanT Slam, and he is playing as the Persians. Good choice for him. And in the other pocket, we've got Riot playing as the Mongols in the grey. Again, pretty similar civs, but it's expected. These are the civs to play. And I did just hear a Wallow, but it's not popped up on my second monitor just yet. So maybe it's a Phantom Wallow, maybe it's Elite Teutonic Knights Wallow, I don't know. But I'll keep an eye on my second monitor to make sure I've not missed anything there. But yes, Riot there in the grey. And on that left flank, last but not least, for the TyRanT Warlords in the red, we've got Fire, Super Hot Fire, playing as the Vikings on that left flank. So we've actually got Vikings versus Vikings on the left flank, which is going to mean the water war should be pretty interesting over here. And on that right side, we've got the Mongols versus the Mayans. Now, the Mongols on the flank, that could be good for a really fast galley rush. Obviously, we know that the Mongols generally have a really good feudal time, and we can see already that Jordan 23 has sent that second villager over to the right-hand side to build up that dock. And I think I know why I didn't see that Wallow. That would be because my second monitor, aka my laptop, has lost internet connection, which means that the chat is frozen, the alert box is frozen, so I apologize. If I missed it, just let Hannah know in the chat, and she can relay to me. So hopefully things are going to be all right now. I mean, my laptop is so bad; it loses internet connection all the time, and I'm using this as my second monitor, so it's not good if it goes down. So anyway, John 23 up to feudal. Is it any surprise that he's the first? Well, no, and he's going to be quickly bringing out those galleys there and sending them directly over to Bagiofro's dock, and he's already scouted that. He knows where that is. He got his scout cavalry through. In fact, his scout cavalry is still back there. Could get caught out by Slam, but Slam just missing that opportunity. And Jordan 23 going to see what he can find behind these walls. Now, for Bagiofro here, he's kind of, because he's on the flank, he's almost forced into this situation where he's got to do that feudal galley rush, sort of. Or he's going to risk losing a lot of fishing ships. But he's not really doing a super fast feudal time. Fire, Cab, they're both up to feudal already. And for Bagiofro here, he's adding in more dock. More dock. He's adding in more dock from the dock. No, he's adding in more fishing ships. He's done a total of 6, and already Jordan 23 is over here with his galleys. And you might be thinking, well, why didn't Bagiofro do a fast feudal and get those galleys out himself? Why is he still taking all this food? Surely he can't be relying on Slam. Well, he is relying on Slam. He's hoping that Slam Jam here is going to be able to help him out and bring some galleys out quickly to try and fight Jordan 23 on the water and protect Bagiofro's ships. The reason for that is because Bagiofro is the Mayans, and the Mayans' strength is the fast castle, followed by that swift castle drop, followed by plumed archers to take map control. So having Bagiofro on the flank here for the Warlords is really not a good or an ideal situation. And already, Jordan 23 is getting ahead on the water. On the left side, we've got a little bit of a back and forth between Fire and Cab. Both of these guys with 3 galleys apiece, both of them as the Mayans as well, as we know. And, as the Vikings, rather, as we know. So things should be pretty even right about there. But we'll find out very shortly as, another round of galleys come out for Fire, and he suddenly takes the advantage. So the Wallow that I missed, sorry, the $5 donation from Hyper Diaper, much appreciated, man. Thank you very much. We got there in the end, so thank you very much, man. So, some people saying that perhaps the stream is lagging. I will check that. My internet's been a little bit dodgy this last couple of days. Oh man, look at this. Cab coming in. Looking, I thought there for a fishing ship. But a little bit of back and forth micro between these guys. Things are looking very close. It looks like Fire had the upper hand, and then suddenly Cab pulls it back again. Things are going to be pretty close and intense on this left side. Cab bringing in that 4th dock a little bit sooner, and he's got to control this water here, and they have to protect these fishing ships. I'm surprised that Fire hasn't moved his fishing ships back here rather than right in front of these galleys. But hey-ho, Fire knows what he's doing, and he is gaining the advantage over this side. On the right side, though, Jordan 23 has done a lot of damage. He's denied a lot of those fishing ships from backed, and although he's a little bit outnumbered here by Slam, he's preventing Bagiofro from fishing. Now, if we have a look at Bagiofro here, he shouldn't be far from the Castle Age. In fact, he's halfway up right now. But the other Mayan player, which is Doubt, as we know, I have no doubt that Doubt... he's playing as the... Wait, yeah, he is playing as the Mayans. Sorry, it said Mongols on the thing for a second. I was looking at Jordan. We have a look at Doubt. He's got a lot more fishing ships here. And sure, he is a little bit slower up to the Castle Age. But he is going to have a much larger economy than Bagiofro once he gets up to Castle, simply because he's been able to fish a lot more effectively. Now, that could all change as Fire, it seems to be bringing the advantage home for the TyRanT Warlords on this left side. As I said, things are going to be pretty back and forth, pretty close. In fact, neither of these guys have fletching yet, and that could be a really big turnaround in this fight. Not to mention as well the fact that once the Viper and once the other Persian player gets up to the castle age, we may see a couple of fire ships coming out to aid things on that flank. But really, the Persians here, the Viper and the Mayans doubt, they're going to want to get control of that center as fast as they can, ideally. Now, we'll see what happens there. Rear as well now going for the center a little bit, building that second stable for some double knight and perhaps camel production as well. And still on this right side, Jordan 23 preventing really much fishing from Bagiofro. He's rebuilt a dock back here to try and at least get some fish, but that's 4 fishes for Bagiofro versus about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for Doubt. So Doubt's going to have a massive eco here. The only redeeming factor, I guess, for Bact is that he's dropping that castle right in front of his gate there. Now, I'm kind of surprised he's doing this, because this is going to be catastrophic. Jordan 23, Jordan bringing in his galleys, and Bagiofro's castle is going to be denied. I don't know what he was thinking with that, but those villagers are going to get massacred there as they run away from the galleys. 3, 4, 5 maybe villagers going down for Bagiofro there. Maybe make that 6 or 7, in fact. And Jordan 23, what a great play. Fantastic timing, obviously spotting that and just denying it. And that was a huge mistake from Bagiofro. I don't know what he is planning with that, but it doesn't make sense to put a castle there unless he was trying to do a wall bust on Jordan here and try and focus down Jordan on the flank. That's the only reason he would put that castle there. As a result, Doubt bringing his villagers into the center of the map, or a little close to the middle of the map, bringing up that castle in a very safe location, and he's going to have those plumed archers supporting things in the center of the map very soon, as both Riot and Viper now get going with that knight production. We'll probably see some switching to camels. That's the nice thing about the Mongols and the Persians. They do have those options to do the camel switch. I like to call it the camel switch. So Slam coming in here to try and rescue the castle from Bact, but he's outnumbered. Jordan 23 with a superior navy, and Slam here is going to get caught out. Jordan 23 bringing in some reinforcements, and Slam is just throwing those units away. If we have a quick look at the military stats, Jordan 23 with about 20 kills and 7 losses. That is very, very good for him at this stage of the game. And on this left side, we'll have a quick check on how things are going. Doubt's bringing in some fire ships, and Fire is feeling the wrath of the fire ships. Well, he would be if fire ships did their job properly. They really need a buff. I've been saying this for ages, but hey. So on the left side then, things are looking a little bit dicey for Fire right now. Fire seems to have lost a couple of fishers as well, giving Cab a single fishing ship advantage. Obviously, both of them do have fletching, but that castle time now is going to be vitally important. At the moment, though, Cab getting raided on the land as Riot comes through with some knights. He must have found a way through somewhere. There is always a hole, and in fact, there was not a hole this time. I lied. Fire sending that transport ship there across so that Riot could drop those knights into the economy of Cab, and Cab here losing 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 or more villagers, and that is really going to have a big impact on his galley rush over here. He is fortunate that Doubt is sending some fires over, otherwise that could be end game for Cab on the water. So Cab's really struggling to defend that, and meanwhile, Doubt trying to get up a castle right here as well, sorry, a TC right here in the center, getting cut down by Riot. Riot is playing a fantastic game so far, a very good fast castle time, and then quick raiding, quick map control, denying that TC from Doubt, and getting himself a whole lot of kills already, with 24 kills and 3 losses. That is fantastic, and I'm wondering at this point in time what exactly the Viper is doing. Because he should be trying to combat these knights. Perhaps he sent some over to Cab, but no. I just see a couple of plumed archers here, and that's certainly not enough plumed archers to stop the knights. Just steamrolling over everything. So not really sure what the plan here is, but Cab still at the feudal age, 50 population, raided like crazy, and Fire on the way up to castle right now, 40% of the way up. And although they're falling back a little bit on the water here, and they're losing a few ships. That castle time could really turn things around on the water for the Tyrant Warlords, due to them losing quite heavily on the right side. Slam here with a faster castle time than Jordan as well, and both of them now with War Galley. Slam going to get a few picks right here. But on this right side, it looks like Viper, this is what Viper is doing. He's trying to get some knights into Badgiofro's economy. Badgiofro, though, now able to get that second castle up. He put one back here and rebuilt. He's building his second now on the front, and that means that Badgiofro is going to have that second castle a little bit before Doubt as well, which could mean that we will see some more aggression from the Warlords on the center of the map. So far, Warlords looking very good on the middle. They've already got their first town center up here, and the second one's going up as well for Riot there. Riot's got those two stables, the third stable on the way up, and map control looking pretty good on the land. On the water, however, it does seem like the Tyrant Legends are pulling ahead there. Like I said, Jordan 23 looking good on this right side. And Cab still looking okay on the left, but with Fire now being into the Castle Age, we're going to see that War Galley upgrade very soon. We're going to see Bodkin Arrow from the Blacksmith in just a moment, and things are going to perhaps turn around on this left side a little bit. So, second castle now coming up for Doubt, away behind Badgiofro, but I think he's going to have no problem getting that up at this rate. It doesn't seem like Riot is in a position to strike that. And you'll also notice as well, he's only just got Bloodlines there. So he's actually got the advantage over Viper here as well, with his camels and knights. So Riot looking in a position here where he should be able to control the center quite well with these three stables. Whether or not these plumed archers start to cause issues, we'll find out very soon. Once they get Bodkin Arrow done, they are going to start laying into these knights quite heavily, and that's when Badgiofro is going to need to start supporting the knights from Riot in the center of the map. On the left side, that War Galley upgrade for Fire, though, definitely turning things around, like we said, and Cap there losing his fishing ships, and also losing most of his navy. It looks like Doubt now going to be in the firing line next, whilst Slam manages to hold out on this right side for the Tyrant Warlord. So at the moment, things are actually looking fairly close. The scores are in favour of the Tyrant Legends at the moment, and they have 3,140 average, and Tyrant Warlords have 3,130-ish average. It is very, very close at this point, but look at this. Riot here, so many stables. I want to know what's going on over there. There's no way that he would be making this many stables and producing that many knights if he wasn't getting like some kind of a sling or something like that. I'm going to assume that there's a little bit of sling coming in towards Riot right now. We'll find out very soon, but I mean, he's gone up to 5 stables, and he really doesn't have that much gold income. He's only got 5 villagers over there, and a few villagers here on this gold. Okay, so that's where his gold income is. It was inside that town center. That makes a lot of sense. But yes, Riot here, I want to think he's got some sling, but 5 stables, he's going up to 6. Quite a commitment to the Castle Age aggression here from Riot. That third castle there from Doubt coming up in the center of the map as well now, securing his team a little bit of gold income. Viper coming into the center to take some gold as well, and it really looks like the Tyrant Legends are starting to pressure the center of the map. Doubt up to the Imperial Age first, and those plumed archers are really going to start hammering out the damage on those knights, and this is why I think it's kind of strange that we're seeing Riot here making 5 stables. That's going to slow down his Imperial time quite significantly. And bear in mind as well, he's playing as the Mongols, so his long-term goal is not to upgrade to Paladin. He doesn't have that option. His long-term goal is to go Mangadai. So overcommitting perhaps to the Knights here with 5 stables is it's quite something. So Tyrant Warlords at the moment looking pretty good. They've cleaned up Doubt's fishing ships at the back. Those fishing ships certainly helped out to get up to the Imperial Age this fast, and those plumed archers there with Bracer now done like I said, laying into those knights very, very quickly. And we've got more stables from Riot. That's his answer to this, just more stables. Badgiofro coming in as well now, bringing in those plumed archers to try and support, but he's a little late, and he doesn't have that many plumed archers out as well. He has got the 3 castles, but he is slower up to the Imperial Age. Badgiofro here is still in castle. In fact, he's got a really big shortage of gold at the moment, and you know, I can only assume at this point that Cab, after losing the water, is just now proceeding to sling his teammates a little bit and prop Viper and Doubt's economy a little bit. So Viper here getting that castle on the front, that's really going to solidify their push, and they're going to be bringing out those trebs any second. Doubt there with his first treb already on the map, going to be taking down that castle very soon. Once the trebs are popping, the castles are dropping, and Cab is indeed sending those resources to Doubt. Slinging the Mayan player is often a good idea. They have that really, well, their plumed archers are incredibly strong for a start, and because they're so cheap, they pack a lot of punch-in force very, very quickly. That sling coming in from Cab there is certainly going to help them out somewhat. Cab, though, got to remember, this does not have coinage here, so these resources are being cut down quite severely by the resource tribute tax, I guess you could say. So Jordan here bringing up his TC in the center of the map. Obviously, he's been really focused on fighting the water here. Neither side crumbling, but in the water for the legends at the moment doesn't really matter that much anymore. It's going to be a little bit of a pain if Fire gets imp and starts bringing out some cannon galleons, but they've got the momentum in the center now. Viper's got the Cavalier out on the map. That castle is down, and they are ready to push this advantage here. Now, the reason I say the water doesn't matter so much anymore is because Viper and Doubt, they've already lost their fishing ships. Cab's lost his fishing ships, and he's proceeding to sling. So, you know, the only real advantage of having water now is if you've got cannon galleons. And Fire at this point in time is still in the castle age. That's going to be a way off. And while these guys are pushing forwards in the center of the map, it's going to be very difficult for the TyRanT Warlords to really gain center control if they focus too hard on the water. So Viper, with those Cavalier, fully upgraded on the defense. Of course, he's got bloodlines already, and we are probably going to see, where is he? Paladin very soon. There it is, 70% of the way up. On this right side, those trebs starting to deploy, and this is the problem for Backed now. Badgiofro here is not Imperial yet. And these guys have absolutely no answer to these trebs from Doubt at the moment. They really need to get someone into the Imperial Age, but at the moment, none of them, absolutely none of them, are up. Slam, still castle. Badgiofro still castle. He's on the way up to imp now, but they are so slow in comparison. There's the Paladin upgrade for Viper now, and these guys are just absolutely hammering home this advantage. Badgiofro gonna lose that castle and lose those villagers as well as he runs back towards his base. Let's have a quick look at Jordan 23. He's still castle for now. And I don't think Jordan 23 is going to get to see much action on the land here because the legends are really dominating the center of the map. And, you know, if they have this advantage for long enough, they are going to make damn well sure that the Warlords cannot bring it back. On the water, Jordan sending out another attack, looking to try and bring down some more fishing ships if he can. But with Badgiofro only just getting to the Imperial Age here, with Riot being so far from, it's just not looking good for the Warlords at the moment. Riot's Knights here are going to get absolutely cut down by these Paladins. Viper just needs the final attack upgrade, and they are fully upgraded. And the biggest problem here, I guess, as well, is that there are no defenses here to their economy. There is a wide open hole. Riot calling GG, and you know, it really looked promising for Warlords on the water. They did do a really good job there, but the Legends, so fast to the Imperial Age, absolutely dominating the center of the map, bringing out those trebs nice and quickly, destroying any infrastructure that the Warlords built in the middle. And with the Warlords unable to take gold here, with the Warlords unable to take stone, they had no chance of supporting an Imperial Age army. They had no chance of actually upgrading their units once they reached the Imperial Age. Now, have a quick look here. How many villagers Doubt and Viper had on the gold? That gold income practically non-existent for the Warlords. I mean, there's no gold left on their side of the map because there is only a very small amount of gold on the off of the center island. So GG, quick game, 35 minutes, and the TyRanT Legends with a very, very promising start to this set of games. That's game number 1. We're going to tab out and get the scoreboard updated, and then we'll go straight into game number 2. So point number 1 on the board for the TyRanT Legends there, and we're going to be now going into game number 2 in just a second's time.